Excuse me. Terribly sorry, didn't mean to startle you, but, what are you doing? Nothing. Well, it seems like you're trying to break into my house. I mean, one can only assume when you're perched one leg over my gate there. Yes, this is my house, or castle if you want to call it that. Oh, there's really no need to freak out. Please don't accidentally fall. Would you like to jump down? On this side of the gate, yes. Well, I do notice you seem to have gotten yourself a little bit, scraped up. I can help with that. Of course, if you do choose to jump down on the other side of the gate, I can and will catch you before your feet even touch the ground. Good. Ah. Well, hello. I could not get a good enough look at you when you were all the way up there. I have quite the delightful guest with me, don't I? Well, if you will follow me inside, I've plenty of medical supplies to help with that. I couldn't possibly let you leave in such a state. Did you perhaps... Was that not your first attempt at climbing the gate? It is rather tall. It wasn't. No, I gathered it sort of looked as if you had fallen off something. Well, follow me, love, and we'll get you all cleaned up. It's not really a request. I would feel bad letting you walk out like that. And the fact that now you have been here and seen me, I feel like you should understand a few things before you go running off and blabbing your mouth to anyone. You weren't planning on telling anyone about what you found? Right. Why would you not? I mean, monsters aren't exactly the best well-kept secret in this world anymore, but, most people who try and break in here are doing so in the hopes to vanquish me, the evil that resides here. Not that there's any evil to be found, really. Unless you want to count some of the old paintings we have in here. I still haven't taken them down, they are gaudy. I didn't put them up, of course. I, well, inherited this, not by my family of birth, but you know. You seem quite confused, which is why I will explain everything better once you join me inside. It's quite cold out here. Not that I can really tell, I would imagine you do seem to be shivering a little bit. Good. Well, if you would follow me. Now, if you will take a seat over there, I have, in this cabinet, I've got... Do you think you'll need bandages? I've got some gauze and some fabric bandages, and then I've got plasters as well, or band-aids, whatever you'd rather call them. Why do I have first aid supplies? Well, you are correct, I hardly need them myself, but... well... I may be a vampire living in a castle a bit away from any normal civilized city, but I do have friends. Yes, friends that aren't vampires. There's a certain dear little friend of mine who gets himself scraped up quite a bit. Not his fault, he can't really help what happens when he's in, you know, his time of the month. He hates it when I call it that. But, these are mostly here for him. But I can spare some on you. You want me to clean some of those out? You did sort of... Did you fall into one of the bushes out there? Right. Let's see what we can do with you. I have water somewhere. Let me... pour some in here. And I'll use... oh, there's all sorts of bit of rags in here. Let me dab some in, and then I'm going to touch you. Is that alright? No, I'm not going to clean your blood off with my tongue. I mean, for one, the wound's also quite covered in dirt, and I wouldn't want that in my mouth, but... sweet thing, I have no intention of feeding from you. Again, precisely the reason why I wanted to talk to you before you went scampering off. Before you get any of the wrong ideas. Now, this might sting a little bit. I mean, it's only water, but... there we go. But yes, so... as I said, most people, humans who turn up here, are wanting to stake me in my sleep or steal from me. They think this castle is full of riches. Antiques, yes, but not exactly precious ones. I mean, precious to me, but they're not going to make anyone into a millionaire. But you came here in the middle of the night. You did, I assume, come here knowing that was it a vampire resided here, correct? It's why then would you not come during the daytime? Because you weren't here to kill me. What were you here to do then? Observe me. Darling, did you think that you could break into my home and just wander about spying on me and I wouldn't know you were there? I mean, I was inside minding my own business, reading, and through multiple rooms, the front doors, the pathway, and then the gate, I could hear you. I could smell you. So did you really think that I would not have noticed your presence? Did you not realize our senses were that strong? You have torn quite the holes in your knees here. Well, sorry, not in your knees, in the fabric of your trousers. Let me get the ones in your hands. Well, I don't want to cover them in antiseptic or any kind of plaster before we clean the dirt off them. So, here to observe me. You clearly don't seem to know quite enough about us to know the danger you could have been putting yourself in. But you heard rumours that I wasn't all bad. But why observe me? You like to study monsters. Fascinating. To what end? Are you wanting to write books or something? Perhaps? Is this mostly just to sate your own curiosity then? Aren't you an odd one? Delightful, though, quite. Can I brush some of the... Oh, darling, you've got some leaves in your hair. May I? Just get those out. There we go. And let me get a clean rag. And wipe your face down here. And brush this back. Oh, well, there you are. My. Sorry. I can't help but stare when such a pretty thing enters my abode. Truly a fortunate night for me. Now then, let's see about those plasters. Let's see. Just hold still for me. There we go. A lot of these are just quite small and not really bleeding that much, but there's a couple that are still bleeding a little. Oh, please, I didn't mean to scare you. It's just a reaction. I can't help it, but rest assured, I'm not about to feast on you. I have full control of my senses, and I have already drank tonight. Not like that. I mean, I have a supply of, well, you know, I don't know if you'd be squeamish by me saying the word. Blood, yes. Rest assured, I won't be taking any of yours. Not unless it was given willingly. Apologies. I have been told I tend to tease people a lot. It's in my nature. Let's throw these somewhere. Is that feeling a little bit better? Not in too much pain. You didn't bang your head, yes? Good. You know, I've had a thought. Well, if your intentions were to observe me, to try and find out about vampire behavior, well, you're here now, and I'm right here. You're observing me right now, aren't you? If you like, you could, ask me things, I suppose. It could be fun. Or if you're a little tuckered out after tonight and want to just run straight home, I could extend an invitation, perhaps, that you are welcome back here anytime. Well, of course. I mean, you've been quite polite in not killing me and all of that. I have not really experienced a human wanting to study me. I mean, there was the... You get the occasional ones who sort of want to kill you and then study you, or kidnap you to medically torture. But you want to study just by passive observation. You want to learn without actually causing us harm. I'm quite intrigued by you, and I will admit having such a sweet face around the house will be a welcome breath of fresh air. Look, let it not be said that the castle did. Oh my word. I did not introduce myself. Oh, sweetness, I am incredibly sorry. How ungentlemanly of me. I must fix this immediately. May I take your hand? Thank you. You can call me Ambrose. And you are? Enchanté. Quite embarrassed I didn't do that straight away. Though, in fairness, I did not know if you were about to kill me or not. Well, attempt to, and you're hardly able to kill me. Well, many have tried, but here I am. Yes, so it's really up to you. It is late. I don't know how much longer I'll be awake for. Daylight, it doesn't probably work exactly like you're thinking, or affect me in the way that you're imagining. I'm sort of semi-nocturnal at the moment. I do like to be awake through some hours of the evening or late afternoon. It's not so much an instant death, more like very severe sunburn that can all too quickly turn into flames. Yes, as in me being engulfed in flames. I mean, I would not really step out into the light for too long if I could not help it, but if the need arose, if I covered as much of my skin as possible, sunglasses, a parasol, I'd be alright. I mean, there is, you know, perhaps you don't. Some dear brilliant mind invented a sort of, sunscreen, if you will, for my kind. It doesn't exactly protect us completely, but it allows us to go out for a little while. So, if you wanted, if you felt more safe approaching the castle in the hours when the sun is up, which I would recommend, you are of course safe here, and if I heard you out there in danger, I would rush your aid, but I cannot guarantee that I will always be here, or will even hear you if you're too far away. I would really not recommend you travelling all the way up here on your own in the middle of the night again. Not unless you had someone to accompany you. Did you blush a little when I asked you that? Oh, pray tell, do you have someone who would accompany you? Oh, come on. Just someone you met recently. I'm intrigued. I'm jealous, honestly. Perhaps then, as we get to know each other, you can tell me all about this mysterious, handsome stranger. Well, no, I know you didn't say he was handsome. I just inferred. I mean, look at the colour of your cheeks. Although, perhaps that's all for me. Oh, but I can't stop when it's this easy to make you flush. No, I was going to say I was going to try and contain myself, but I just can't. Not unless it genuinely makes you uncomfortable, of course. It just makes you a little embarrassed. Well, that's alright. I mean, it takes a lot to embarrass me, but I've been alive far too long to get embarrassed anymore. Though my mother would tell me that I seem to have no shame even as a young child, so perhaps it's just how I am. But I did just say I didn't want you travelling in the dark. If you wanted, there are plenty of guest rooms here no one ever stays in, apart from, well, aforementioned friends. Only one of them really tends to stay over. Let's not give you his room. Sometimes he leaves it in a mess. But any of the others, and there are multiple to choose from. You can stay the night, leave when you want. I can't guarantee that I have a lot of food in stock. I mean, I tend to have things that, won't go out of date super quickly. I, of course, don't eat them, but just in the rare cases when someone does show up. But I don't really have anything fresh in stock. But if you're up for soup, I think probably there's some of that in the pantry. Not that you have to eat, I'm just saying, whenever you wake up, I definitely won't be awake in the morning. So if you wanted to make yourself something to eat before you left, or at least, there's running water here, so you can have some of that, and then be off on your way. Oh no, it's fine, the door automatically locks by itself behind you, so you're welcome to stay the night. As I say, I'd hate you to be traversing out there, pitch black, even with the few stars that are in the sky. I mean, forests aren't really the place a young thing wants to be alone in at night. I get that you are a independent sort of creature, I respect that, but there are things out here, even if not monsters. Frankly, my dear, if monsters didn't exist in this world and it was just humans, I still wouldn't want you walking around there at night. Humans can be just as monstrous as anyone. You will stay? Oh, how wonderful. And you have my word. I mean, if it makes you feel any better, if I wanted to eat you and drain you dry, I would have done that already. But that's really not my style. I don't take blood from anyone not willingly giving it. So, hopefully you will get some sleep and not just lie awake all night, worrying that I'll come out and get you. Besides, the sun is coming up soon, and early morning sunlight definitely would make you the stronger out of the two of us, so I can show you to your room if you would like. It's no bother at all. I take it you know how to get home. Excellent. Well then, if you'd like to follow me, I can show you where you'll be sleeping for, well, the rest of the night. Get up and leave whenever you wish. If I awaken and you're still here, I suppose we can have a nice little chat. There's no pressure to rush off in the morning, I just assumed you would want to. But the invitation stands. You're welcome to come back at any time. What? My number? Yes, I know what you're talking about. Please, darling, just because I'm hundreds of years old doesn't mean I didn't keep up with the times. Yes, I have a phone. I suppose we wouldn't want to show up unannounced. What a polite little thing I found. Yes, sorry, it's just in my inner pocket here. You can type your contact information into here if you want, and wonderful, thank you. And do you want me to type in? Alright. I must say I don't usually give that many humans my number. Sorry, some people don't like the sound of nails clacking on their phones. I promise I'm not scratching your screen, I'm being ever so careful. There you go. Yes, I put a little heart next to my name, I hope that's alright. Help you remember me better. Though I doubt you probably have another friend called Ambrose, but one can never be too careful. Well, be grateful. I could have written myself in as the hot vampire boy and you would have had to explain that to anyone else who looked at your phone. Ah, we're here. I mean, if this room is to your liking. I can't guarantee everything has been dusted incredibly frequently. I do live here on my own. I don't have any help. You like it? Oh, good. Well, then I shall leave you to get some rest. If anything disastrous happens while I'm asleep, no, I won't be in some crypt. I have a bedroom, darling. You do know blackout curtains exist now. I mean, I do always get a little bit paranoid with them, they may fall down in the night, but windows can be boarded up with curtains on top. I can very much sleep in a bed as long as sunlight isn't coming in the room. And I may also just slid underneath the bed. There may be a coffin in there. Look, back then, they were the most practical thing to make sure, you know, you could be in safely with no light, and it was the first thing many people thought of. I mean, when people used to get turned back in the day, no one really knew what was happening, and most people thought this person had died. They didn't know they were halfway through turning into a vampire, and so they buried them, and then you woke up in a coffin. It's just what we had. Not that I'm saying that's what happened to me, I just... Anyway, that might have been a little gruesome. But no, you don't have to find any secret basement or mausoleum out in the garden. Do I trust to tell you which room is mine? You are absolutely sure that you won't stake me in your sleep. Alright, well. End of the hall. Turn right. There's a staircase. Spirals. Yes, I'm the floor above you. On your left hand side, the door that's about in the middle. Frankly, if you knock on any door in that corridor, it will wake me up anyway, so. But, you know, only if for some reason the castle is burning down or an angry mob is outside with pitchforks and torches. Well then, if I see you in the morning, then I shall see you in the morning, and if not, I will not be upset that you've gone back home to safety. But, you're welcome to text me, yes? If you want to, come over, or if you want to go out and meet up somewhere outside, that's alright with me as well. It's really up to you, but I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you whenever. It has been a refreshingly nice experience dealing with an intruder. Well, your apology is accepted. I shall see you when you next wish that we meet, my dear. Thank you all so much for watching, my lovelies. A reminder that audio commissions are currently open, and I also have a Ko-fi and a Patreon. If everyone who followed me donated just £1 a month, that would help me out a lot. There are numerous different rewards on my Patreon, including access to my Discord server, your name read aloud in the credits, and exclusive Not Safe for Work audios that you patrons get to request. All of my socials, but especially my Discord, I try to make the most inclusive, safe space for all of you. And a big thank you to my second tier patrons: Cry, TRO Voodoo Doll, Phoenix JN, Ginger Artist, Neuron Name, Julia, Andy Christ, Aviana Brent, Abby Clayton, Maximum, Donut Rebel, and Isabel.